there are countries that really, just as we at this moment depend almost totally on oil, there are countries that depend almost totally on the oceans, you know. And so they know to take care of their oceans. That's another thing that I know, and many Nigerians know, you know, is very highly developed in other parts of the world where great care is taken of their waters, their oceans. Maybe not so much us, but again, knowledge, enlightenment is coming on by the day, and hopefully all of that will begin to change, because the oceans must be kept healthy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, actually, a fundamental concept that is enfoiled in the concept of the blue economy is ocean sustainability. Mm-hmm. And sustainability is all about exploiting the oceans in a manner that ensures that it is available for the future generations, that the aquatic life is not compromised, and that, you know, it is healthy for everybody's use. So the component of marine environmental protection is fundamental. Now, and again, that's why I say, I reemphasize the importance of efficiency. We don't have a problem of laws. There are adequate laws within the NIMASA Act, within the Merchant Shipping Act, which take care of ensuring that the marine environment is sustainably used. But these need to be implemented.
Okay. So all of this will go back to what you spoke about earlier, something about a policy framework.
Absolutely.
Given that news report that we saw, the gentlemen in there were talking about that as well. There must be a framework, something that to the rest of us might look like a roadmap.
Absolutely.
Of how to proceed,
yes,
in a responsible, in a modern, you know, technologically responsible way. Ada in Jos wants to join the conversation. Good morning to you, Ada.
Good morning, Dr. Emeka Akabugu. It's Ada calling from Jos State. Oh, thank you very much. I've been listening to you with your guest, you know. I guess you have thrown more, insight into the economy aspect. So I want to find out from him. The minister in this particular ministry, is it not his duty to work towards opening up all the other ports in Nigeria by ensuring that they are functioning to help the congest Apapa port or whatever? I feel that if this is achieved, it will help to boost the economy. So I don't know whether it doesn't that fall under his main portfolio.
Okay.
You know, because I don't know. In Nigeria, we are really blessed, but we have had a lot of problems of not wanting to tap into these things, you know, just like you mentioned, you know, we want a fixed quick, just like an Indonesian economy.
What we know, we know.
Oil. And let's not give up in Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ada, for calling. I'll beg your pardon. Let me bring in Miriam, who has called in from Abuja. Good morning to you, Miriam.
Yeah, hello, good morning, Uncle Yuri.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I think, could you mute?
Good morning,
yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Could you mute the volume of your TV set entirely, please? Put it on mute, please.
Yeah, I'm happy. Bola Tinubu, our president, is trying to diversify the economy by bringing in all these new ministries or introducing new ministries. But I think there's something basically wrong. We have people who have been tested in this industry. I don't know why we don't bring such people to head such ministries. You know, this is no time to start experimenting. You know, if we have the people, we have the expertise already in this, you know, in this kind of a ministry or something. Why don't we bring them on board? Why are we bringing in politicians? You know, one reason I really campaigned and voted for Bola Tinubu was we learned he has the capacity to put round pegs in round holes. But you see, it's becoming a bit disappointing. You know, we don't play politics with everything. You know, if we have people who can head these ministries, why do we bring politicians? Let's leave some certain things for politicians.
Okay.
You know, the blue economy thing, I think, will bring in plenty of money.
Okay.
That's what we are hearing. We have the Ministry of is it solid mineral? We have people who have worked in these places before. And why bring an Alake in the Ministry of Mines?
Okay, your point is taken, Miriam. Thank you very much for calling in. Appreciate your call. I think what Miriam is saying is she would have expected or have been a lot less troubled if, for example, President Tinubu had appointed an oceanographer. Now, I've also heard arguments from other people that the business of heading up a whole concept is not quite as she and a lot of other people might think about it. So I don't know if you also wanted to contribute to that conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Now, what's important at a ministerial level is visioning, setting agenda, targets, okay? At the sub-ministerial level, which is the agencies and departments, you need competence.
Okay.
So, I will not be happy if, as it's happened in the Buhari years, we have the Nigerian Ports Authority, NIMASA, and all the likes headed again by politicians or by non-industry persons.
Professionals.
We're looking at efficiency. Efficiency is driven by knowledge and competence, setting targets. And you need people who fit these profiles to head up these spaces, because these are now the engine rooms that will drive the targets that you are envisioning.
Indeed. And so you want to make sure you have a professional in there.
Precisely. Unfortunately, we don't pay so much attention to the law. And NIMASA, for instance, under the law requires that you have a professional head it. A professional means somebody who is knowledgeable and experienced within that industry.
Maybe certified.
Precisely. You know, knowledgeable, experience within that industry. It is certified, if need be. Okay? So she does have a point, that the importance of competence. At the ministerial level, I think what is important is for the minister to appreciate that.
Okay. Ikechukwu Abakaliki, good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Yes, please go ahead now.
Yeah. So, please, the thing I need to add is this. You people are doing a very great job. But the issue I want to keep on is why Nigeria refuses to use technology, like cameras and other things, because all these things will help to reduce all those efforts and other things. People will see everything physically. Just the other country and other continents, they're making use of cameras, they're making use of technology. So please, I would be happy if you can join others. I hope states will move better. The reason is why you are hearing bandits, all this, all that, is because you are not making use of all these digital things. Please, I would be happy if you can go into that way. Please, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ikechukwu, for calling in there. And I just have the impression that we're going to be knowing a lot more about this subject. He said, look, let us know. We need to know. And you see that I can actually go online and find out in someone else's country what they are doing about their whole blue economy. And if need be, experts, specialists, professionals that have gone under there share information. So I think, I wonder if that is the kind of thing Ikechukwu was talking about. Let us become knowledgeable. Yeah, blue economy, but go ahead, in this case, Mr. Oyetola, enlighten us all, carry us along. Let's know what's going on.
Let me just weigh in a bit.
Sure.
He talked about technology.
Technology. Yeah.
Now, let's just use a very important area. A lot of revenue for the country comes from the customs. Okay? The customs, for the last 10 years, has been mandated to set up what is called a single window system for management of the import and export process. Customs has failed to do that. And many of us in the industry believe that they have the capacity to, but they don't want to, because technology ensures transparency, it ensures accountability, and it removes the opportunity for under-the-table transactions. Okay? Now, again, in the context of the synergy that is needed, the Ministry of Blue Economy, Marine and Blue Economy, needs to synergize with the Minister of Finance, who, good enough, is also the coordinating minister for the economy, okay, to ensure that the single window system for the customs service is in place and fully functional in its proper definition, okay? So that is one. The second thing is, where you have the application of some of these technologies, it actually ensures that much more people are able to transact within that same industry. Taking an example now, we need to be able to map effectively what are all the markets, persons, and services which you have within the maritime industry.
Okay, okay.
It's by mapping it that you define the economic activity.
In fact, so much so that from what you're saying, all these organizations, ministries, and departments that you're linking together, they sort of act as checks and balances on each other, such that I like the delicate expression you used, under the table kind of dealings will be sort of almost wiped out if there is not massive collusion.
Yes.
And it's going to be hard to do. But let me bring in another, I don't know if he's an academic or a medical person, Dr. Onibolabo, calling from Ilesha. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Please, is this a 3 a.m. this morning?
Sorry, you have called into a TV program this morning, yes. and we're discussing
okay. Maritime issue. Yes.
Yes, especially the blue economy aspect of
it. Yes. I've been following it. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Please, I've been listening to the program from beginning.
Okay, Dr. Kabogo.
I appreciate Dr. Kabogo. Especially his perspective. There are two things we need in this matter. The first thing we need is this. This is a new ministry. They are supposed to be stakeholders meeting. That is where people will be able to give their perspective. For example, now, from what the doctor said, we have some ministries that will be doing partially what this ministry is supposed to do. One, there are some ministries whose duty will interlap. And with all this, in order not to encroach other ministries, in order to have clearly defined purpose, we need to have a clear definition and what this ministry is going to do. For example, now, if we look at Norway is making money, what we call income from fishery, both fishery within the ocean and outside the ocean. Is this going to be part of this blue whatever we are talking about? And
blue economy.
Going to be, Oyetola is coming from a state, and this is a new ministry. Even a professor, we need support. Person like this doctor that is talking and team of others supposed to form a kind of parliament for him in order to establish this man so that he can take off from ideal place. There is money there, but we must have clearly defined purpose, objective, supporting ministry, interlapping ministry, overlapping ministry, and all these people that are going to co-work with him. God will help us out. Thanks so much. I'm very grateful.
Thank you very much, Dr. Onibolabo, for calling in. Indeed, he's going over areas that you have actually touched on, but he's sort of re-emphasizing, because it's new. And the other gentleman who called in from Abakaliki wanted for us to be involved. Don't go and make this thing into an esoteric science where nobody knows all about it. I mean, there are lawyers. You are a lawyer. I think you are a lawyer and scientist, or is it?
No, I'm a lawyer.
There you go. You are a lawyer. You've worked in this field for so very long. You become an expert. People were talking about Dr. Bakoba in there, and there are other names that we're not mentioning there. So I think what people are saying, having implied a thank you to Mr. President for establishing, putting this blue economy in the place that it really deserves to be. We've waited so long, but now we can't wait to know all about it. And we can't wait for it to be, as you have emphasized continuously, for it to be as efficient. So we need to hit the ground running in terms of all the earnings and the potentials from there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, on brass tacks now, the Secretary to the Federal Government needs to have a consultation between the Ministry of Transportation, Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Trade and Investment, Ministry of Environment. There needs to be a consultation to facilitate this clarity on the mandates. That's number one. Number two, we need to have the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, okay, in line with what Dr. Nibobo said, have an all-stakeholder consultation,
okay,
which ensures his own clarity for himself.
One,
yes,
that
yes.
everybody is on board.
Precisely. Then having done that with the stakeholders, he needs to do that with the individual departments and agencies.
And
okay?
did you say that even before all of that, there needs to be a kind of a policy framework that everybody is aware of?
Absolutely. We need an ocean governance policy, an ocean governance framework. It's not existent. You heard Hassan Bello say that this is new territory, completely new territory. So even though there are experts, but from a governance and administrative point of view, it is completely new. And we need to chart that and chart it effectively within the context of existing law and prospective law.